So with the paleo diet, really ask yourself one simple question. Would a caveman eat this? If the answer is yes, stick with it. If the answer is no, neither should you. So now we're at Reed's Market on Preston Avenue. Time to go in and shop a little bit. People here in Charlottesville hosted a die-in protest today demanding Congressman Tom Garrett vote against the latest version of President Trump's health care plan. And it is still burning. We're here in Mineral still. You can see behind me the smoke. Further down there, flames. The last witness to see Hannah would report watching her cross this crosswalk on Market Street over to 4th Street where Jesse Matthews' car was parked. In each of these robberies, the defendants were said to have been wearing masks, dark clothing, and brandishing weapons. Well, the Albemarle High School cross-country team has a new footbridge on its trail thanks to a group of middle school girls. It knows you're listening to music, it knows you're in the plane.
It knows everything.
This year, Albemarle County school officials want to bridge the gap for disadvantaged students. A family in Fluvanna County is looking for another place to live after Saturday night's powerful storm. I got stuck down, though. The last text message Hannah Graham ever sent. Graham had gone out the night of Friday, February 12, 2014. Friends and witnesses say she was heavily drinking. After complaining she did not feel well, she left an apartment party alone, turning down a friend's offer to walk her home. A series of surveillance camera footage show Hannah's journey to the downtown mall. It was there that she crossed paths with Jesse Matthews Jr., who had also been out on the town. Witnesses said he was acting strangely and inappropriately with women, touching and grabbing. One woman said she had taken off her boots to nurse a painful foot when Matthew grabbed her leg, took off her socks, and touched her foot. After being rebuffed and refused by several women at several bars, Matthew is seen in this now infamous footage walking westbound on the downtown mall. He stops, crosses the mall, and catches up with Graham, who's walking in the opposite direction. One of two witnesses who saw Matthew sling his arm around Graham commented, "You don't even know her," to which Matthew responded, "Hush." The group would make their way to Tempo. Credit card records show Matthew bought 2 drinks before closing out his tab shortly after 1 a.m. The last witness to see Hannah would report watching her cross this crosswalk on Market Street over to 4th Street where Jesse Matthews' car was parked. He opened the passenger door for her. It was the last time she was seen alive. Her skeletal remains would be found a month later in Albemarle County. Forensic evidence suggests her nose was broken, and with no significant damage to her head, the cause of death was most likely strangulation or suffocation. Some of Graham's clothing was found nearby. Her undergarments, shoes, and cell phone were never recovered. Witnesses say Matthew acted strangely in the days after Graham's disappearance. He had a swollen jaw, rarely left his apartment, and didn't answer calls. On Friday, September 19th, police showed up to Matthew's apartment. He told them he was drunk and didn't remember talking to Hannah that night. "Did she leave with you? Was she in the car?" asked one detective. Was Matthew's only response. The next day, Matthew agreed to meet up with a detective, but when he showed up to the Charlottesville Police Department, he decided against it. He would flee Virginia a day later, only to be caught in Galveston, Texas, brought back to Charlottesville, and charged with capital murder. Guys, there are countless diets floating around out there, each of them claiming this or claiming that. I wanted to zero in on some of the most popular and unique and try them for myself. Now, keyword here is try. First up was the lemonade diet, also known as the Master Cleanse. And as you'll be able to see from my week-long experiment, it's definitely not one I'd recommend. So the first part to starting any new diet is learning more about it, and that's where Google comes in handy. The lemonade diet, or the Master Cleanse as it's known, dates back to the 1940s. It promises a flush of harmful toxins and 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss in just 10 days. And the best, or perhaps worst part, you just need lemonade. So now we're at Reed's Market on Preston Avenue. Time to go in and shop a little bit. The diet calls for lemonade made from 3 main ingredients. First come the lemons, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. Once you have all those ingredients, it's time to add water and drink the lemonade, and only the lemonade, at least 6 times a day. It's not bad. Maybe a little too much pepper.
I absolutely would not recommend the lemonade diet.
As Sentara Martha Jefferson dietitian Kelly Hughes explains, it's not the best of ideas.
The benefits of lemonade diet are pretty much unsubstantiated. There's no really good science behind it. Anything where you're not eating any real food is is not good for your body. It's not sustainable.
And that's a theory that I proved as I failed again.
It's day 2 and I just downed a Subway sandwich.
And again.
I can't do it.
And even if you're not like me and are able to follow through, Hughes says all that weight you may have lost is just going to come back anyway.
I mean, you put your body in this mini starvation mode. So as soon as you start eating, your body's going to be like, oh, nutrition, food. I want to keep this. I need to keep this. I don't know when the next meal is coming from.
Instead, Hughes suggests drinking warm lemon water every morning, which along with a healthy, balanced diet does have its benefits.
There's a benefit to helping with your pH level and balance, regularity, and preventing constipation. But you just can't live off of lemonade alone. Citrus fruit is wonderful, but it's just not enough.
So with the paleo diet, really ask yourself one simple question. Would a caveman eat this? If the answer is yes, stick with it. If the answer is no, neither should you. For this diet, I had to say goodbye to anything prepackaged, processed, or modernized in any way.
You're really looking at animal sources of protein, healthy sources of fat, naturally growing fruits and vegetables, berries, and maybe nuts.
Once again, we visit Centera Martha Jefferson dietitian Kelly Hughes for guidance.
I love paleo. I think it's a great way to eat. I love when people eliminate preservatives and refined foods from their eating. I think it really focuses on healthy protein and getting carbohydrates from healthy sources like fruits and vegetables. So I have it 2 thumbs up.
But she says as much as she'd recommend a paleo lifestyle, there are some things to watch out for.
One downside is that people feel it's very strict and it doesn't allow them to eat the foods that they would indulge in or enjoy.
Is it good?
It's okay. On this diet, you can wave goodbye to dairy, grains, added salts, and of course sugar, unless, Hughes says, you take a moderate approach.
A lot of people will modernize the paleo diet a little bit and say, 80% of the time this is really how you want to eat, but there is a little bit of room for indulgence.
And this is the method she recommends for any sort of diet.
Diets are tricky. I think there's such a negative connotation with dieting and yo-yo dieting, so I think that the diets that are really restrictive, really eliminate whole food groups, keep your calories super low, and those kinds of things are dangerous.
As a dietitian, she encourages anyone looking to lose weight to not necessarily adopt one of these strict fad diets.
I never said I was a chef.
But rather assume eating habits that are sustainable for each individual person, because one diet doesn't fit all.
Every last bit.